crazy.
Meantime, President Trump endorsing the idea of giving up to $5,000 to mothers to help increase birth rates.
Mr. President, there are reports that you're considering doing something for moms across the country, giving them some kind of bonus so that they have child. Were you considering that? Or?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Maggie Anders is the host of Undoctrination and a content creator for the Foundation for Economic Education. She joins me now. Maggie, what do you think? Is a $5,000 incentive a good idea for people to have kids?
Well, Todd, thank you so much for having me this morning. While I wholeheartedly agree with the Trump administration that America is facing a fertility epidemic, I don't think a $5,000 baby bonus is really going to cut it. You know, some estimates put the average cost of raising a child in America at $23,000. By the time that child is 18, that's $414,000, not accounting for inflation or the cost of college tuition. Americans are facing a cost of living crisis. We're tired of being taxed to death, and we're tired of our dollar being devalued through wasteful government spending programs and Federal Reserve money printing. And I think this is going to make that problem worse.
Yeah, Maggie, I agree with your top line on this. Kudos to the president for tackling this issue because it is a big deal. Look at these stats. The 2024 fertility rate, that's just last year, remains well behind the rate required to replace the current population. So something needs to be done. What would you suggest to the president to fix that problem?
Absolutely. So I think this crisis is both financial and cultural. So first, financially, I think we need to lower the tax burden on most Americans, as well as deregulate key industries that are driving up that cost of having a child. So housing would be one of them. And then as far as cultural, I think we need to look at success stories. Israel is one of the few developed countries that has an above replacement fertility rate. And they're doing something very differently. One of those things is that the entire family unit is involved in raising a child. And Israelis often see childbirth as something more important than just immediate satisfaction, right? So they want to pass down traditions, they want to extend their lineage, and I don't know if Americans are thinking long-term about that. Unfortunately, politics is downstream from culture, so if we want to change that point, that's something that has to start with individuals.
Let's drill down on culture for a second. A 2024 poll reveals the main reasons people under 50 are not having kids. They just don't want to, 57%. They want to focus on other things, 44%. Concerns with the world, can't afford to, concerns about the environment. This is admittedly a very biased question here, but how do we convince people that the joys of having kids and being out late last night at my oldest first T-ball game ever outweigh those concerns that people have?
Absolutely. So I think one problem a lot of Americans have is this high time preference. We want to chase immediate satisfaction, like traveling or going out to eat at restaurants. One of the problems in America is that since 1963, when our fertility rate was at its highest, the family unit has changed so much. So both mom and dad are often going into the office and they're spending very few hours with their children. And that can be very stressful and isolating, and it's a huge burden to take on. So one thing I think a lot of people are really asking for is to have that village to come behind them and support them. And so for a lot of the viewers listening in today, if you have adult children, one thing you can do is be involved in your grandchildren's life and support them that way.
I would just also add, instead of using that money as a bonus, maybe put that money into lowering the cost of fertility, because there are people out there who desperately want children, who are having trouble. That money could help them and would really alleviate this problem as well. Maggie Anders, thank you for your insight. We appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.